Hey everybody, it's Dusti Martin, Platinum Living Realty. It's February 3rd, 2020, and I have the new statistics from the January real estate industry. So buckle up. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's happening in the City of Scottsdale, plus what's happening in each particular price range. All right, so let's just jump into it. Our active listings were down in the month of January, 32.9% over last year. So last year we had over 2,600 listings. This year we only have 1,779. That is not a whole lot of active listings for an entire city with hundreds of thousands, if not maybe over 1 million people. So keep that in mind that inventory is pretty scarce no matter the price range. Now, when you go to the sold listings, our sold listings are up 16.3%, meaning we sold 563 of those last month. So almost a third, if you think about it like that. That means we're still trending into a really strong seller's market for the vast majority of price ranges here in Scottsdale. Our median price range is up per square foot, 6.6%. So our median price per square foot right now is $241.98. And like I always say, this is going to vary neighborhood by neighborhood. So yours may not be exactly the same. Could be a lot less, could be a lot more. This is just the average. Our months of supply is down a whopping 42.3% over last year. So that means for the entire city of Scottsdale, and keep in mind there are a lot of higher end and luxury homes in Scottsdale, there's only a 3.16 month supply in all of Scottsdale, meaning if no new homes came on the market today, going forward, all of them would be sold within 3 months. So as you guys probably know, if you watch my videos often, anything 4 months or less is a seller's market, 4 to 7 is an even stable market, and then anything 8 months or more is a buyer's market. So we're doing really great for sellers there. And then our median days on market is down 12.1%, and we are sitting at a very cushy 58 days. That basically means if you subtract about 35 days for your average transaction, within 3-4 weeks, a home's under contract if it's marketed and priced appropriately, sometimes faster in some neighborhoods, and you'll be off to the races and moved inside of 6 or 8 weeks when you list your home. So think about it that way. That's how fast things are moving. 90 days is considered an even stable market for an average home. So keep that in mind. When you're anywhere under that 90-day mark, things are moving really fast. So let's break things down by price point. So like I said, for all price points overall, as an average, we're at 3.16 month supply for the city of Scottsdale, which is a pretty strong seller's market. It's not as strong as like a 1 month supply, but it's still a seller's market. So if we look at anything under $100,000, we're at a 3 month even month supply, and that's just because we don't have a lot of lower end condos or apartment type places here in the city of Scottsdale. So we don't have a lot of them, and therefore there's not a lot of demand for them either. Where it gets crazy though is the $100,000 to $200,000 price range in Scottsdale. And for most places in Scottsdale, that price range is going to mean a condo or a townhome, and usually a pretty small one between 1 and 2 bedrooms. So for anything in that $0 to $100,000 price range, we're at less than a 1 month supply. Oh, I'm sorry, 100 to 200,000, you're at a 0.85 month, meaning less than 1 month supply. In the $200,000 to $300,000 price range, we're at 1.27 months. That is still crazy white hot seller's market. So if you're a buyer, you've got to be on your toes, have your pre-approvals in hand, make sure your lender has all the documentation he needs, and then that way when you find the home that you want, you can just jump on it and be off to the races, because your deal right now is you need to actually beat other buyers to the property, and you've got to have your ducks in a row. Otherwise, the seller's just going to say next, because there's other buyers out there. They don't have to wait for you. So moving on, the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, also at only 1.35 month supply. Still a white hot seller's market. So if you think about it, we're in a white hot seller's market, 500,000 or less. So, but here's where it gets better. If you move to the $500,000 to $700,000 price range, you're at a 2.71 months supply. Still a pretty strong seller's market, right? So like I said, if you're a buyer, you got to be on your toes, have all your ducks in a row. And this is where I found things to get really interesting this month. For the $700,000 to $1 million mark, we're at 3.85 months of supply, meaning just under 4 months, meaning the high-end market, not quite the luxury market, but the high end in Scottsdale is still a seller's market, and just entered into that bracket here in the last couple months, which I find really exciting, especially for my neighborhood where most homes are between 700 and $1 million. So it's actually officially a seller's market in the high end. The only thing that I found where things were slower were when you get to $1 to $3 million homes, and right there we're at 11.12 months supply. So meaning that we're over 8 months, you are in a buyer's market. Sorry to say it. Now, we're better off than we were last year. Last year in January, we had a 13.82 month supply, so almost a 14-month supply last year. So that needle's moved, and we've reduced about 3 months worth of inventory, which is great for sellers, but you still have to be mindful of the fact that you are in a buyer's market. So if you have a luxury home and over the $1 million mark, you've basically got to realize that it's a buyer's market and you're trying to get them to agree to buy your home versus all of the others, where in the lower end market, you have all the buyers you could possibly hope to choose for. So in the high end, if it's not compelling, it's not selling. And it can't just be the prettiest property in the neighborhood, it's got to be the prettiest price as well. Because as we know, in Scottsdale, there are a lot of big, very beautiful homes, and unfortunately, there's just not enough buyers for them. So keep that in mind if you're thinking of putting a luxury home on the market. Know the fact that it is a seller's market for you guys. And then here's the other thing: the $3 million price range and over is at a 27.33 month supply. So just over 2 years worth of inventory, which seems like a lot, and it is. That is a pretty strong seller's market. But when you compare it to last year we were at a 72 month supply of inventory. So if you do the math, you can see that our inventory for those homes has plummeted. And if you think about it, that means, yes, there's more buyers for them and there's probably less of them available. However, it's moved so much in the last year that is a good indicator for owners of luxury homes that are going on the market. So yeah, it's still a buyer's market, but the chances of you having a home on the market for 5 years that doesn't sell is slim to none, especially if it's priced appropriately, marketed appropriately, and as always, is the prettiest one on the block. So like I said, if it's not compelling, it's not selling, and that means the price, how it appeals to the market, and how it appeals or how it compares to the other properties on the market. And like I said, keep in mind, in Scottsdale there are a lot of very large, very pretty homes here, and so you just have to keep in mind that somebody in those shopping in those price ranges is going to have a lot more to choose from. This is Dusti Martin, again, with Platinum Living Realty. If you guys have any questions or are wondering what the numbers might look like in your neighborhood and what you might be willing or looking to expect to get for your home in this market, give me a call. It varies by subdivision, 480-717-9405. And do me a favor, if you find these helpful or informative, click the like button and subscribe, and I will be sure to make sure that you get to see the next one. Have a great day. Bye.